I have come to know from reliable sources that you and your husband are both engaged in some form of employment. Am I correct, Melina?
Good evening, Lori. Well, yes, it is true that we both have to work simultaneously, but I fail to see how that is any of your concerns.
I pity you guys so much. That must surely imply that either one or both of you are incapable of earning enough income to sustain your family, right?
What? What are you blabbering about right now?
I'm not mistaken, am I? If your husband had the competence to work at a job that would enable him to provide for both of you and him, he wouldn't be demanding that you work as well, right? So, if he is not skilled enough to earn that kind of money, so does this mean that your husband is languishing at the lowest position in the company he works for?
I should have anticipated that. You would resume your rude behavior towards me again today. I'm sorry, Alicia, but this time your malicious wishes of my husband being trash, or something like that, won't be fulfilled. My husband is neither stuck in the lowest position within the company, nor is he making a salary that is insufficient to support the both of us.
Is that what you believe then, Melina? Because I'm not convinced that you're fully aware of everything that is happening with him.
I think I am well informed, considering I'm his wife. But one thing that I'm not privy to is the exact amount he is making.
What? In other words, your husband is not willing to disclose to you the amount he is earning. Oh my god, are you really a couple? Are you certain that he's not trying to conceal something very crucial from you there? I have a bad premonition about all of that. The way he is hiding the amount he makes from you. Well, it indicates to me that he's not making enough money right now.
Well, he and I have a way of living our lives that is probably different from yours. So please don't feel obliged to comment on anything else about it. And know that he is not trying to keep anything from me. And another thing, the reason I'm working a job is because I enjoy the company I work for and want to continue being a part of them. And if something were to occur in our lives that required one of us to stop working, I feel we'd both remain financially secure.
Huh? What are you rambling about? I know that it must be so hard for you two to live as penniless, lowly beings.
Can you please refrain from acting as though he and I are destitute right now?
So, you guys are not going to be having a wedding because of your strained finances right now?
What? We still intend to have our wedding. You should have received the invitation in the mail about our wedding coming up soon. Right?
That was supposed to be a serious invitation. I thought that you and your husband were just trying to fool us around.
Hold on a second. What do you mean by that, Alicia?
Well, the fact that you're both penniless yet are planning to have a wedding at the wedding hall, as splendid as that, is just a clear sign that you're joking about the wedding. Do you think you'll have the money to afford a place like that?
That invitation was not sent out to everyone as some sort of prank. And as for getting a reservation at a place like that for the wedding, we happened to get some assistance from one of my husband's friends from his work. He was able to get us a spot at a place as magnificent as that. So, both my husband and I are really excited for our special day.
Well, it would be just marvelous if you guys could end up actually having the wedding. It would just be amazing to see two penniless losers become happy at a wedding like that.
Ugh, I can't understand the reason why you're texting me. Just to insult me and my husband or something? Could you please start easing up on the amount of insults you hurl at us? Now, thank you for texting me today. I have work to attend to, so I'll be leaving.
Are you seriously contemplating having this wedding?
What? Now? Even you're going to start interrogating me about my wedding?
Well, if you're expecting to receive any money or gifts from us, then you should abandon all of that. Listening to some penniless, lowly creatures like you guys throwing a wedding is insane. Not even I have the capacity to envision what one would have to do to borrow enough money for a place like that.
Hold on. Jeremy, why are you uttering rude things like that now? This, to me, looks like a classic example of your wife manipulating you. But she really did a terrible job on you, making you talk that way about me and my husband. I do recall you and Alicia never bothering to meet my husband before we were married, but still.
Well, from what I can observe, whatever money you do have left is going to be squandered on that wedding if you proceed with it.
Why are you saying that? Even my husband said that he really wants to talk with you.
Ha ha! Talk with me? That's so ridiculous. Because I don't have the time or interest to talk with someone like him about anything. I already know for a certainty that man of yours is worthless, just based off the fact that he's making you work a job as well, instead of being his housewife. I feel as though your marriage isn't going to last very long, so there's no point in me wasting time getting to know him. When a man has little money, their chances of being divorced skyrocket. So I'm betting that'll be happening really soon for him.
You're being a jerk right now, Jeremy. It's fine with you giving me small jabs at us here and there because you're my brother. But lately, you've really been crossing the line. Ever since you ended up marrying that Lori chick, you've changed for the worse. For now, can you at least try and conceal that hideous face of yours until after we have our wedding? Because if you come to the wedding acting like that, you'll regret it more than you'll find it tolerable.
Hey, listen, you stupid woman. Today's the day of your wedding, isn't it, Melina? But, sadly for you, my husband and I do not have the luxury to be coming to a wedding for two pathetic, slow lives right now.
What?
I know it's only a few minutes before the commencement of your wedding, but we're backing out.
Excuse me? What are you babbling about now, Alicia?
Are you blind? I'm talking about how my husband and I both be skipping your wedding. We feel that being there to give you guys money or a gift would be a colossal waste of our own time and money.
What? So you want to inform me that right now? Of all moments? I know that you're having a splendid time telling me that right before the start of my special day. But you're going to rue not showing up today.
Oh well, both Jeremy and I do not wish to attend the wedding of a pair of losers. I know it's only a few minutes away, but he and I are bailing out.
Then you're no longer welcome inside the wedding hall anymore.
I was never intending on coming.
And when I say you're no longer welcome in, I mean that very personally. Even if you do come out here and try getting in through the doors, we'll have them sealed. Just as you've said yourself, there is no need for a couple like you to be here at a loser's wedding to give them any gifts or money. So don't fret about the late notice. Farewell.
What the heck? Melina, is your wedding already underway now?
What is it that you want from me now? The wedding is already in progress, so please don't waste any more of my precious time.
Right now, both Jeremy and I are heading out there. We'll be at the wedding hall in a little while here.
Will be at the wedding? Really? Well, listen, Alicia. Even if the two of you are sobbing your hearts out to be let into the wedding hall today, I'll make sure that you're both kept outside.
Huh? Why would you do such a thing?
It wasn't even an hour yet since I told you that I'd never be allowing you into the wedding hall, and you've already forgotten that? You told me you were fine with that, and that's why you're not going to be admitted now. So please, stay the hell away from here.
That's not what any of this is about right now. Things have changed for both of us. Jeremy just received a call a little while ago from his boss.
Oh, well, I was thinking about how something like that would probably happen sooner or later. My husband is the CEO of a very highly regarded company, and a lot of other company leaders are at the wedding right now. And my brother's company is a partner of my husband's, and so a lot of his company's higher-ups are here right now attending the wedding.
Excuse me? Why did you never tell either one of us something as important as that before? Normally, anyone would share something like that with everyone around them. And right now, information like that is the most important thing for my husband and I to know about.
Why is that important for you two to know?
Because those leaders, his bosses, are the ones that will be promoting him soon to a much better position. And all of them, being at the wedding today means he'll have the perfect opportunity to sit down with them all and talk more about personal things, right?
Well, from what I've heard, this was supposed to be the perfect occasion for both my brother and my husband to talk over various things regarding their partnership, right?
What?
Well, that's just too bad now. We've already told everyone that you both looked down on us, thinking we were without any money. So, those talks won't be happening.
You're telling me that the CEO of the company that my husband's been working with wanted to talk with him today? And that means today is the only chance for Jeremy. You let us into that wedding hall right now.
But I already told you. It's too late now.
Why is it too late?
You must really not be aware of the troubles you've caused for yourself with the way you've treated my husband and me, huh? The CEO of the company that Jeremy's been working with his whole time is the same man you both continue to call a lowlife and moneyless for making me work a job as well while married.
But at that time, I had no clue about that. That would have been the perfect time for you to tell me that he's the CEO of the company and you both really do have money. All you had to say to me was that your husband is a CEO, and that would have put an end to everything I was saying. Then, we never have to be begging you to let us into the wedding. And Jeremy could be discussing the next deal with your husband.
You were the one who called him a moneyless lowlife because I never wanted to be a housewife. There was never going to be a halt to what you were saying about us. Had I told you he's the CEO? Well, at this point, it's all impossible to change. So sorry that you lost the one and only chance to have your husband look good in front of all his superiors. Anyway, I have a wedding to get on with, so I'll talk to you another time.
Oh, wait a minute, Melina. Even Jeremy is telling me that he had no idea that your husband is the CEO of the company.
I'm not sure what you are implying by all of that, but what was your intention in talking to me the way you had been? And treating my husband like he was insignificant? I have no intention of letting you two in the wedding now. After all, you guys were the ones to cancel on us, right?
And we had canceled before finding out about what was all going to transpire at the wedding today.
All of that has nothing to do with the way you treated us. I have no desire for a family that is going to treat my husband and me like we're nothing more than bags of garbage. I think I'm going to use this event as an opportunity to finally sever ties with both you and Jeremy.
I understand just how furious you was with us right now and why that is. But can you at least let my husband into the wedding hall? He is your own brother, Melina. Please, I'm begging you. Give him the chance to get his well-deserved promotion.
Well, I will not. Never.
What? Why not? Do you not feel remorseful for what you're doing to your brother right now?
And I'd like to ask the same thing of him after the way he treated my husband and I.
What?
I want to know if he feels remorseful for calling his sister's husband a lowlife, and if he feels anything at all about canceling our wedding. Honestly, he isn't even family to me anymore after what he pulled today. Did he really think it was a smart idea to wait until the last moment to tell me that he was going to stay away from my wedding and call me moneyless?
Well, I was the one that told you that, not him.
Well, before this, I had invited the both of you out to see my husband and get to know him before we got married. My husband had really wanted to meet the both of you back then. I think he knew that my brother was working with his company as a partner, and he wanted to get him into a position with more responsibilities, but also more pay. But my brother gave the excuse that coming out to see my husband would be a waste of his time and money, and never came. That's what my brother chose. Not you.
But if you told him that your husband is a CEO, then everything would be different now, right? All you had to say was that your husband is the CEO.
I didn't want my brother coming out to see my husband because of his chance of a promotion. Though I wanted him to come out to meet my husband because he's my family, and that would be the right thing to do. I knew that Jeremy would have to sacrifice some of his time to come out and see us, but had he come, we would have told him then about how my husband's the CEO of the company he works with. But Jeremy chose to never come out and see his family. So that's that. This is all on him now. And he's accountable for not being allowed into my wedding anymore. No matter how much you both try to get yourselves admitted into my wedding, no matter how much your husband's promotion depends on it, you're not allowed in.
You're going to behave like this just because he never came out to see your husband before you married him?
It's not just because of all that, Alicia. Before Jeremy was married to you, he was never concerned about his time and money. But now that you're his wife, he's changed into someone who is stingy and very judgmental of others based on their income. He is always whining about things, and it makes me miss my brother when he was single. Don't tell me that you only see my brother as your cash cow. And that's why he's become so anxious about money.
That is not the issue at stake right now. Can't you see that the both of us have hurried all the way out here now? Because we see how serious the situation is now? Would you please let us in there so that we could be a part of the wedding?
I'm telling you that you're both being a pain in my butt. I'm no longer in the mood where I want to support the two of you any longer, so I'm not going to be allowing either one of you into my wedding hall.
What? You have to be kidding, right? We are already waiting. Outside the main entrance to the wedding hall. There's a security guard standing at the door. And no matter how many times we tell him that Jeremy is your brother, he won't budge.
Yep, that's because I told him. That's fine. The security guard is not to let either of you in. I don't think he'll be letting you anywhere near that door today. Now, I'm in the middle of my wedding, so good day to you both. And, you can start thinking of me as a total stranger now. So goodbye forever.
Why did you not let either one of us into your wedding? Right now, Jeremy is furious at me for everything. And saying that I'm the only one to blame. He says that I begun to talk way too much and ended up getting ourselves locked out.
Well, there is that. But you could just explain to him that this also falls on his shoulders for joining you and making fun of my husband and I and canceling on the wedding. Tell him that he's to blame just as much as you are because he allowed himself to be influenced by you. Well, either way, we're pretty much at that point now where I can say I'm cutting ties with both of you.
What? What are you talking about, Melina? I'm in a huge fight right now with Jeremy because of what you did to us. You left us outside the wedding hall all day. So can you at least help me get out of this now?
Huh? Don't make me laugh, Alicia. What makes you think you can ask me for help after all you've done?
It's because of you that the wedding that my husband and I's relationship is going to fall apart. You're the only one that's able to fix things between us now after all that. And I bet if you have your husband come as well and talk business with Jeremy, Jeremy will begin to calm down more and start being nice to me again. Do you think you can do it for both of us?
I'm so glad that you still haven't learned anything from this and are coming to me asking for help. Makes me feel like I am superior to you now.
What do you mean?
It's nothing. Just know that both my husband and I are done with you both.
No, what? Are you actually being serious about it? Cutting ties with us both?
Well, right now, all I can see is a brother who doesn't even care enough about his little sister to come to her wedding, and is viewed by all his superiors as an absolute failure. And my husband has already cut ties with you too, so there's really no need for me to talk about this with either of you anymore. Make sure to tell Jeremy that my husband is no longer willing to put in a good word for him either. So, consider that promotion gone.
What the hell? Melina, are you really intending to let your own brother and I crash and burn like this? Do you and your husband not feel that you've crossed the line way too far now?
Jeremy has nothing to do with us anymore. He's just a stranger now. The burden that comes with making fun of my husband is very heavy. And we're going to make sure that after today, we never have to hear from or see either of you two again. And if your husband is to lose his position working with my husband's company for good, then you'll never have any connection with us.
Lose his position? Do you really believe that Jeremy will be demoted over something like this? I never realized that talks he was supposed to have at the wedding were so crucial.
I'm sure that when his pay is reduced with a demotion, your living as his housewife will no longer be feasible anymore. And from that point on, you'll no longer think about calling other couples that work jobs at the same time lowlifes ever again, right? Poor things, you two. Now, enjoy whatever fading days you have left as a housewife, okay? You did a splendid job this time. And I hope you enjoy the life of being penniless and miserable. Just as Melina had been explaining to Alicia, her husband gave Jeremy's bosses negative feedback about him. And he lost his position, making deals with Melina's husband's company. Following that, he was then demoted to working the front desk of the office building and would be given a significant pay cut with that. Because of that, he was no longer able to earn enough money for himself and Alicia, which led to her then having to look for a job as well. This then led to their relationship becoming increasingly tense as they spent day after day arguing with one another. I'm sure that soon those two will begin to contemplate getting a divorce. But If that is to happen, Jeremy will be left with no wife, no sister, and a rather dismal job. And as for Alicia, well, I'm not really sure if she'll be left with much either. But that's totally fine by me.